If you spend any time online in investing communities, and I'm sure many people have, you've probably noticed something that's a little bit weird. Apparently, everyone is investing wrong. If you're a dividend investor, you're told that you are sacrificing growth. If you are a growth investor, you're told that you're chasing hype. People who use covered calls are told that they are capping their upside. People who don't use covered calls are told that they're leaving money on the table. Index fund investors are called lazy, and stock pickers, of course, get called gamblers. And somehow, even though all of these criticisms cancel each other out, everyone is convinced that they've found the one correct way to invest. Let's talk about something that gets lost in these debates. The possibility that neither you nor the person that you're arguing with are actually wrong. Maybe you just have different goals. I know, pretty revolutionary, but maybe that's just the case. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make is assuming that maximizing returns is the only objective that counts. And who wouldn't want to have the highest possible return? The answer is actually lots of people. You invest as a real person. You have emotions that are involved. You have actual financial obligations that you have to take care of. And your own tolerance for watching a portfolio drop has to be factored in. I want you to picture two investors. First one, 25 years old, has a stable income, no dependents, a 30-year runway ahead of them. Another person, 62, on the verge of retiring and counting on that portfolio to help pay the bills in the near future. Should these people have the exact same investing strategy? I would suggest probably not. And yet most of the online debates will say there's one optimal strategy that everyone should follow no matter where they are in life. It's kind of like arguing that everyone should drive the same vehicle. A pickup truck, that's not better than a sports car for some. A sports car, that isn't better than a minivan for others. It depends what you're trying to do. And that same concept applies for your money. Let's look at 4 controversial styles to illustrate my point. First of all, dividend investing. Some people don't like dividend-focused portfolios because they give up on diversification. They're not necessarily tax efficient. They lack in total return. Those are not bad points. They're probably fair. They are features. But a lot of dividend investors aren't trying to maximize total return in the first place. You have people who are just trying to build cash flow for retirement. Some find it easier to stick with that type of a portfolio over the years. The ups and downs, sort of the blue chip, steady Eddie type companies. Some like seeing the income go into their account every month. Now, it's okay if you disagree with that, but it doesn't make that strategy wrong. Now, I want to look at covered calls. You're going to see the same thing happen. Critics, they're going to tell you that calls cap the upside, they lag in a strong bull market, and that is absolutely true. However, the person who is using a covered call strategy isn't necessarily chasing the maximum upside, right? Maybe they want consistent income instead, right? They may be happy trading the future gains for the cash flow that they're getting today. So whether it's the right call comes back to their goals, certainly not yours if you're arguing with them. It is the same again with concentrated portfolios. You might see someone who shows you, and I've seen this, a single stock might be 40, 50, 80% of their stock portfolio. And in fairness, concentration does bring in a lot of risk, but concentration itself isn't automatically irrational. Plenty of investors have built their wealth using just that strategy and a few names in a small concentrated portfolio. The trade-off is that your ranges of outcome get a lot wider. You have bigger potential rewards, you have bigger potential losses, and some people are absolutely fine with that. Neither side, in my opinion, gets to make that call for the other person. If you ask for my opinion, I'm going to share it with you for sure. I'll share my experience with you, but who am I to tell you what you should do with your own money unless you ask? Should I be criticizing you if you eat foods I don't think are healthy? Is it my place to tell you your diet is going to hurt you? If you ask me, sure, I'll share my thoughts. But if you don't, I'm just going to leave you to manage your own food and your own portfolio. Truly, that's really not any of my business. A quick thank you to Harvest ETFs for supporting this video. Harvest is one of Canada's most experienced covered call managers. Their core strategy is very straightforward. Hold a portfolio of quality stocks, sell call options on a portion of those holdings, and use the premium income generated to pay monthly distributions to investors. So for income-focused investors, it is a strategy worth understanding. You can learn more at harvestetfs.com. There'll be a link in the description. Now, one more investing argument that has been around forever. This is active versus passive. Index investors are going to tell you over and over that active managers do not beat the market over time. The data does, in certain studies, back that up. So picking your own stocks must be a mistake, correct? Well, I'd say not necessarily. Some people genuinely enjoy the activity, the researching of companies that goes along with that. To them, it's more like a craft, not just a sort of a route to a higher number necessarily. Some people just accept the fact that they might lag an index a little bit in exchange for staying engaged and learning as they go along. And if someone understands that likely cost, still chooses it with their eyes wide open, that is a preference then, not an error. I always say the mistake isn't picking stocks in and of itself. The mistake is picking stocks and then telling yourself that you're guaranteed to win, because that certainly is not the case. Now, have you ever noticed that the same thread is running through all four of these? Dividends, covered calls, concentration, active versus passive. In every case, the strategy itself is not the problem. The false certainty is, though. It's the I'm right and you are wrong attitude. Personal finance is exactly that. It is personal. The right portfolio for someone else might be the completely wrong portfolio for you. And the right portfolio for you might look terrible to the other person. And I say that is fine. You shouldn't be trying to win an argument in a comment thread online. You should just be focused on trying to reach your own goals. You should be hyper-focused on your own self. So I would suggest spending less time asking what's the best strategy and more time asking what am I actually trying to do here? Do you want maximum long-term growth? Do you want income? Do you want lower volatility? Do you want simplicity? These questions all matter, because once you've answered them, then your mindset can change. And instead of arguing whether a strategy is universally good or bad, none of which are, at least in my opinion, you can ask whether the specific person gets to a specific goal using that own specific strategy. None of this means every strategy is equally as effective. In real life, there are strategies that are poorly built. There's some strategies that are far too risky. There are some strategies that are based on a misunderstanding of how the markets actually work. So, in other words, real mistakes actually do exist. But there is a difference between saying, I wouldn't choose that, and saying nobody should choose that. The first example of that is sort of respects that people have different circumstances. The second one assumes that everyone should think exactly like you do. So next time you see someone investing differently than you, try to resist the urge just to explain why they're wrong. If you ask what they're trying to actually do, you might find that their strategy makes perfect sense for them. Even if you still disagree, remember, it's not your portfolio, it is theirs. Now, if you found this video useful, entertaining, perhaps infuriating, consider subscribing. I'd like to hear from you what you have to say. Have you ever been criticized for how you invest, or have your views changed over time? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.